$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farracon is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Another shit show today. Well, something, right? And I was going to do a whole presentation on that. I changed my mind. I'm gonna do a couple of shorts on it, because this is one of the most painful aspects of my mission. It said the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy by some coming. So, putting that information out on him, that's consuming him, because he is consuming. Look at it. That place is virtually empty. When I was there, when the messenger was around, I'm not talking about the messenger showed up, doing it out there all the time. I'm talking on regular Sundays. That was the main day, Sunday. That place would be packed. People in the balcony and outside, packed. And so those two people on the front seat of facing the audience, I used to be there, do that too. And you have bells all along there, not just two. All along there. And the place be packed. So people be standing up. Now you got the men every other seat, because they're trying to make it like it filled up. And then in the back, it's no one back. Same thing with the women there. They're drying up, because they're being consumed, they're not being consumed. And they're about to be totally eradicated very soon. No, they will not survive the year. I can guarantee that. They will not survive the year. They probably won't survive this month. They won't survive the year. Okay? Because they're liars and everything over there. But see, the thing is that everything works to the advantage of the righteous. Because we control this affair. And so we saw them coming. We saw the thing. So you think we would see Yaqub coming and before he existed, and then allow him to overtake us? And we just get rid of him before he even born. No, because we use everything to our advantage. I'm not going into all the details about that, but one of the main things is that we've been corrupted with all kinds of corruption. Right? We got demons, we got devils, right? We got all stuff mixed in. And that's one of the major missions of Suleiman, is to separate that. So how do you go about separating something? See, like you got dirt mixed in with water, right? How do you separate that? You look at the situation, what's the way to separate it? See? Because if you let it sit long enough, well, the dirt will settle to the bottom, and the water is at the top, and it set long enough, and the water on top be pure, and water, right? Even though it's mixed with mud, because just gravity. One is heavier than the other. That's why you centrifuge, that's why you uranium. Different ways to do it. You can use magnetism. If you deal with metal, you might want to use magnetism, because right, the magnetism will pull out all that iron and steel, and the rest will stay behind, because they will not be attracted by the magnetism. There's all kinds of ways of, right? So things, your attraction, pressure, put some pressure on something, right? Pressure on the weak components will crush. What there remains the strong components. If you got iron mixed with plastic, right? One way is just put on the pressure. Well, the plastic will crush, and iron will still be. So all kinds of ways. So one of the things is that we feel the most efficient way to do it, right, is use magnetism. See? It's how mind works and all that kind of stuff, right? So good magnetism out there. So it's magnetism. NX, so-called Son of Man, all these people, see? Because they're attracted to that. Because what you want the ones that's strong enough to not be attracted by those magnets. See? That's on a high level. So you put those out there, and eventually, what are you going to have? Not attracted by it. That's the one you want. That's why it says what? It says the elect could not be deceived. But the thing is, their minds, in other words, if you got a second grade mind, you'll be attracted by second grade people because you relate to them. You got third grade, right? But you got a eighth grade mind will not be attracted by a second grade person. They're talking about 2 + 2 = 4, and 3 + 3 = 6. This guy, man, he's doing calculus. You're not going to be impressed by that. That's what it is. So, thank you. Because it tells you, it doesn't, gives you hints on how we do the separation. It gives you hints. But it's not out and open how he does it. But that's what, when you look at it, understand the math of it, that's what's going on. Because why allow these things to be set up like that? Ben X, he's attracting a whole bunch of, he's called some man attracting. Who they attracted? They're not attracting elect. Because it says elect cannot be deceived by them. So the point is the ones that's not deceived by them, you got it. You see? Yeah, Roy out there. Wow. There's um, what do you call it? This crazy stupid his organization. And, you got what's that? It's Farracon, right? Let's right, you got let's claim he he's a personification of Son of Man and so-called Son of Man. I did one called. He says he's a personification of Allah. Where's that got it? But no, it's royal. So he's a personification of Allah. So Son of Man, okay, yeah. Because see, the thing is that it's really strange in a way if you think about it, because Farracon, a person like that, it's easy to see who he is. All you got to do is read it. Read Exodus. Read Malachi. Read his books. Because the one answer be given those persons, so you gotta. That's why I said they would bear witness to their destruction. Like Pharaoh did. Oh yeah, well, I bear witness to Allah's God. They'll bear witness to destruction. So what you have to do is say it's judgment. They would say judgment is just. So what you do is say to them, all you got to ask one thing. You do Farracon, give me one verse in the scripture, just one. Quran that confirms that stuff you're saying about him, what he's saying about himself. Just one verse. Just one verse and save you and your seed, because them and their seed will be totally eradicated. You get rid of weeds, you want to get rid of seed too. What you going to end up deal with the seeds? It's going to be totally eradicated. Totally. In the most horrific ways, because it's going to be made an example of. Most horrific ways, and that's soon. Well, you're right, things happen soon, but it's going to happen against them. You understand, brothers and sisters? So that's it. They're attracted, they're pulled away, and the elected remain standing. That's the gold. And they got the silver so has still won't be quite. See, they got to go through another, stick back into the furnace. That's tribulation. Because they ain't gonna, that one. Because they still have some kind of attraction to the devils. Okay. That's the last, because demons, they won't be around the demons anymore. All that stuff be separated out. They're still here with the devils, still in the furnace. Move on, brothers and sisters. See, they never stand up to get this because they can't. And you say, all you got to do is read. And that's what I'm saying. Just ask one question. They can't do it. So they have to say, well, why was you with them then? Can't answer any cancer. Well, yeah, but do you find things good? Why was you with them? They can't answer that. What lack of that? Nice talker. Because he said, no, I don't care what he said. Can't you read? You see what I'm saying? Then you check for yourself, say, prove all things. That's all. There's one question, and that's it. You have to admit, oh, I messed up. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. And it's going to be horrific. It says the most grievous, but don't say a grievous chastisement. One place it says, but this case says most grievous chastisement. Let's play it and see what it says.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Most grievous. That means the worst can be. You can think of some terrible chastisement, sure. Whatever you think is going to be worse, it's going to be worse as possible. Because remember, this time unpressed in trouble. So it's never going to be another time like this again. Right? So that means chastisement will be worse any time in history. What can that possibly be? And that says someone will betray the Son of Man. It says, that one wishes it's better if somebody put a bill around the neck and throw him and said, see, who's that going to betray him? Is somebody betraying him already? Is somebody pretending to be with him? Says that's what it be. That's what started Judas. Some more brown sisters. Most grievous chastisement, fuel for the fire. What kind of fire? Unquenchable fire. It means no matter it's burning, it's not. It can't go out. But the point is, it will not consume them. I said, the so-called Native Americans, and when they used to catch the army, if they fight the army, they capture one of them. Oh boy. They would take, I don't know if you've ever seen, you take a pig and you put a rod through them, and then you build a fire, right? And the pig's on there, and you turn it around, right? You cook it over the fire. Just keep turning around. I think that's some kind of name for that thing, right? But that's what they do to him. They stick that thing up. I guess it's time to stick up his butt or whatever. He's alive. And they build fire on it, and they take it, slowly turn it on, and he's cooking, but he's alive. He's on and screaming. They do this on purpose because they wanted the other military, because they set an ambush. And they wanted the other to come and charge in to save this guy, and then they'd kill them all. They got screaming all night long. I mean, on and screaming because he's constantly being burned, constantly. Wow, that's evil, ain't it? That's terrible. And nothing compared to what they was doing to them. And this would be worse than that. Most grievous. They don't know what they're messing with. They don't have any idea. Let's play a couple of these. I'm gonna keep this short, bro. Since I wasn't gonna go through the whole thing with them on that critique, but I'm gonna do a couple of things. So
Section 1, Fundamental Principles of Islam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. 1. I, Allah, am the best knower. 2. This book, there is no doubt in it, is a guide to those who keep their duty. 3. Who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer and spend out of what we have given them. For and who believe in that which has been revealed to thee and that which was revealed before thee, and of the hereafter they are sure.
Again, they bounce around scripture, but said you got to believe in the Quran and the Bible. Clear enough to me. Let's move on, brothers and sisters.
$174. Those who conceal aught of the book that Allah has revealed and take for it a small price, they eat nothing but fire into their bellies, and Allah will not speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor will he purify them, and for them is a painful chastisement. 175. Those are they who buy error for guidance and chastisement for forgiveness, how bold they are to challenge the fire. 176. That is because Allah has revealed the book with truth. And surely those who disagree about the book go far in opposition.
They do all the time, brothers. Ask about the mention of the covenant. Ask about that. They never mention anything close. What about the covenant? Don't mention it either. But the mention of the covenant is one they prepared, Elijah prepared the way for. They don't ever mention them. But they stop short of Aaron. Wait a minute, hold it. God came, raised Elijah. Right? He was against Aaron. It says right there, he got angry at Elijah for even mentioning it. And then Aaron was none but no good lying dog. Right? They led people around the woods for 40 years, but that's it, and they glorify it. Aaron was Farracon's Aaron. Don't you read it? I'm saying they have no excuse. That's why the chastisement will be severe and just. Because all he had to do is read it. And that was no damn good. And Farracon openly says, I'm going to earn. See, because he knows he's dealing with dumb people. And if you got intelligence from 0 to 100, right? 100's top, right? Your level is only 20, man. You just barely make it, right? But everybody's under 20, you got it. It may be on 20, you 20, but you got the 19s, 18s, 17, man, you impressing them. You're impressing them. And they couldn't recognize 100 anyway. It's too complicated for them. Stupid people cannot recognize intelligence. How can they? Because they're stupid. You have to be intelligent to recognize intelligence. A dog can't recognize intelligence. A dog, look at us. As far as dogs concerned, we're dogs too. We only see things from dog level. We become strange kind of dogs, but we dogs. How's he going to see us? And the only way he can treat you is like a dog. So you can tell how people are, or what they are. You can feel what the nature of what's affecting you, how it's affecting you. Put that away. You can tell the nature of something that's affecting you by how it affects you. So how we've been affected over here 20 years. The goddamn beast. So that means we're dealing with beast. A dog would come and bring you his bone. He think he's doing something nice to you. You can't eat that damn bone. You can't put it in your mouth. But that dog, man, he think he really being nice to you. He getting his favorite bone. He's wagging his tail everything. He's my favorite bone. You know what that goddamn bone? And he mean well. But he's a dog. And he only gonna act like a dog act. If these were angels, like they said, we'd have been treated like angels. They were treated like they only know how to treat people, like dogs. When they was up in Europe for 1,000 years, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Lockdown for 1,000 years. I'm gonna tell them even before that. They didn't produce a goddamn thing. They didn't create anything. They went in there ignorant, and 1,000 years later, they still was ignorant. They didn't produce anything. They didn't create anything. All they did was fight. Disease, murder, that's all they did. Wars and stuff, that's all they did with each other. Remember, they was piled up, and that's how they acted amongst each other. They didn't build no civilizations. They were constantly bombing each other, killing each other, disease, murder. They didn't create anything, nothing. They went to bows and arrows, they came out with bows and arrows. Heard something about, what's that guy's name, Marco Polo? Well, they went to Asia every day looking for information. That's how they learned about gunpowder. They learned from the Chinese. Learned about China. Right? Well, that's not Chinese code. So they learned all these different things from other people. They didn't produce it. Tell me one thing that came out of Europe that affected the world is different. Other than warfare and disease. They brought disease out the world outside with them. And war. But tell me one thing that came out of there that you see in the world today. I mean, we know gunpowder originated there. We know guns. Even Arabs had guns. Gunpowder, all these different things. Even the so-called architects they got from Africa, from Egypt. Nothing. They didn't produce anything. They no ingenuity, anything. Until when? Which they got over here and got us. All of a sudden, all this ingenuity comes. But it didn't happen in Europe. It didn't happen in Russia. It happened right here. It didn't even happen in Canada. It lived right next door. It happened in Australia. It happened right, all this ingenuity, all these ideas. Could they get it from us? If they're so smart, everything, how come Russia haven't come any invention, any ideas? They didn't come to plane. They didn't come with submarines. They didn't come with cell phone. They didn't come with any of that stuff. They just take it and reproduce it. All that stuff came from here. Why? Because we the one, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because of us. And you get a hint, because Pharaoh told his people, he said, well, you had to make them brick, right? And they told him, you make brick with straw. So you got to pay attention to these things. So from now on, you have to make brick, but you can't use straw anymore. The story is telling you, you got to be creative. Because they depend on us to be creative. That's why they wouldn't let us go. Because they let us go, they'd be just like the rest of Europe. No ingenuity. They go back to being in a cave again. They're technical, they're very technical. But being technical without ingenuity is of no value. I'll cover that in more in a minute. That's what they do. They conceal book. They don't talk about the message of the covenant. They conceal that part. They conceal about the covenant itself. Return home to Arabia. They conceal it. They show who they are. Like I said, how we've been treated. When you hate something, you change 100%. Have we been changed since we've been here? Changed 100%. More than any other blacks on the planet. Total change. Total. Because it hates 100%. How was we treated? We're treated like angels or treated like beasts? We're treated like beasts. That means we're dealing with beasts. Like I said, you don't have to see the wind, or you got to see the effect of the wind. See, Farracon blaming us. He blaming the leaves. Oh man, them damn leaves, man, they keep shaking. Because he's a goddamn lying fool. Because he part of the problem. You don't blame the leaves, you blame the wind. So you don't blame us being in this condition. We said, well, that way you come out of it. Got to get out of it today. Well, we can't trust them to restore it. We don't want them to restore us. You don't want the leaves to be restored from where they were before. You just want the wind to stop blowing. You stop the wind blowing, the leaves at peace again. They tell the leaves they got to cut peace even though the wind's still blowing. What kind of dumb shit is that? See? So no, we widows come back to our original self even though we stay here. And the wind is still blowing, the pressures, the force is still there. You got a balloon underwater. You got your foot on the balloon underwater. Then you blame the balloon for being underwater? No, you got to remove the foot. Then the balloon will come back to its natural nature. But he said, no, we ain't going nowhere. Because he's getting rich off us too. Remember, they living off us. They're parasites. And he's got rich off of the nation of Islam. That's why he's robbing the nation of Islam. That's why he got that cancer. It says, right in Malachi, it'd be someone's robbing nation, and it'd be cursed with a curse. All you got to do is read this stuff. And one, brothers and sisters. I don't keep it short. I always say that. Keep making a liar out of myself. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flager as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
Big shit there, boy. Woo-hoo-hoo. A few more days.
Three. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. 5 And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold, therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. 6 And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
Now, see, brother and sister, you see any love in there? That's wrath and fury. You see any love in there? But the whole thing there was God's love. He's love. You got to love everybody. Because there's no love, that means you can't be with God. Because God's love. Love, 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 love. He got that song go, all he needs is love. You know what he said there? But that's not love. That's God talking. He's God. He's doing God's will. Well, he said God was doing. That's not love there. There's stupid people over there. That's not what they talk about with God's love. They have no idea what they're talking about. Because is that love? Right? It's not love. It's not love. And he says, I'm going to take and put anybody that don't believe in my son in hell forever and ever and ever and ever without end. Is that love? And I created them, but they effed up. So, you create something and it's flawed. But then you're going to kick it around because you flawed. Does that make any sense? God, he first will tell you, I'm just going to, like I said, I was going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. They tell you God made everything. And he made everything good. Then where does Satan come from? There was a flaw in his they try to get away with, well, there's something called freedom of will. No, there's no such thing in scripture or in the Bible or the Quran. Sure to you. In fact, it speaks against it. It says you think you're independent. You're not. So God made you, and now you're flawed. So he's gonna kick your damn teeth out, put a foot up your ass, and put you in heaven never because you flawed and you didn't make yourself. He made you. And even if he gave you free will, there must be something wrong with your free will if you ain't using it right. Even if you go to the free will thing, I gave you free will. Well, there must be something wrong with the free will you gave me if you ain't working right. Because you made it. You made the free will. You made everything. You say, well, he made everything right. That's what they say, right? Well, who would Satan come from then? He's evil. If you made him, how do you get evil? If you made everything perfect and pure, how do you get evil? See, it's all bullshit. It's two ignorant people over there. And like I say, they're like third grade. This shit don't make no sense. Oh yeah, 2 + 2 = 22. 3 + 3 = 30. It makes sense, don't it? And one thing, I was talking about that this morning, right? So I was saying, the Quran tells you what you do, clean your neck. Now, say for instance, you're a druggie, and that drug is corrupting your brain, right? So I used to tell my child, it's the dumbest thing you can do, because you're doing that, corrupt your brain. So then, when you want to get off it, you need your brain to figure out how to get off it, but your brain's all corrupted. It's like throwing sand in your eyes. I can't see. Well, get the sand out your eyes, fool. Maybe your eyes messed up by now. The same thing. When you lie, you got a calculator. And the calculator is designed to do the work. But if you keep corrupting that calculator after a while, you say, how much is 5 + 3? It may say 53, because you corrupt the process. It's not going to say, it's going to give you a bad calc. So when you go out and lie all the time, which is you corrupting the way your brain works. Because now you got to remember to lie. You know you're lying. You're out of sync with reality. And the more you do it, the more you corrupt your brain. So after a while, 2 + 2 does look like equal 22 in your mind. So it's like, oh, you're right. You agree with it. Because you're lying so much. 8 + 8 is 88. I'm not just saying that, brothers and sisters. That's the way it works. So those guys, they lie on Farracon just so much that stuff they're saying makes sense to them. And you can see clearly, they start saying eyes, and all of a sudden, man, stuff's look confusing and stuff, right? And you ain't put saying eyes, you see clearly, they don't look how they. You see, they corrupting their brain, but lying and stuff. Come on, they lie all the time. I'm gonna tell you some things they were saying. They lie all the time. They lie. That's all they do is lie all day. They story. They can't find one verse in the Bible or Quran that verifies Farracon claims he is. I told them I get $5,000. I've been saying for years, $5,000. You should be just one verse. They never step up and do about it. You see? So they lying. They tell you, oh, Farracon's okay now. Farracon's okay. He can't wipe his ass right now. They have to set him up in a wheelchair. Until he can't feed himself. And another thing, if God told him to be quiet, then his spokesman should be quiet too, shouldn't he? But they claim they're like Farracon spokesman, so they speak on Sunday. If he's quiet, then what are they saying then? Where do they get information from? They claiming they're speaking in his behalf, but he's supposed to be quiet. He said God's supposed to be quiet. They should be quiet too, right? You see, it's all this bullshit. Like I said, does this sound like love here? When Noah's Ark, right? When he drowned everybody that wasn't in the ark, the whole world, right? All little babies. Hey, God, why are you drowning? Why are you down? I don't give a damn. You ain't in the ark. I'm gonna drown your dumb ass. Well, I'm only 1 year old. I don't give a fuck. You drown. You ain't in the ark. You drown. I ain't done anything wrong. I don't care. You ain't in the ark. You drown. You see what I'm saying? That sound like love. See, they make it like, oh, God's all about love. Does that sound like love? I'm the God they're talking about. That's not what they mean. They're talking love don't mean it that way that they think it's me, because obviously if we just check it. Was that love when he drowned everybody that wasn't in the ark? Little babies? Christians try to get around and say, oh, He took all the little babies to heaven. Hell, he did. Sodom and Gomorrah, he burned everything that wasn't getting out of town. Little babies and everything. What they do? What crime did they commit? Because it don't work that way. Where's the love in none of that? In fact, they come out God's love. They don't understand what it means. Because if you read the so-called Old Testament, I don't see any love in anywhere. All I see is destruction, vengeance, kicking ass, taking names. That's what I see. I see a God that they're going to tear everybody's ass up. He coming for vengeance and destruction. That's what I see when I look at so-called Old Testament. The New Testament too. Because that's what that so-called Jesus said. I ain't coming to bring no peace. I'm bringing a sword. I'm going to come and cut your ass up. Call me Gillette. I'm going to put a razor on your ass. So where's all the love they talking about? It's so full of shit over there. I think this is the hardest part of my prayer. Because I said, I can't even trust faith. I said, this stuff so. But then, like I said, they have reduced our people down to second and first grade level, kindergarten level. So, man, it's hard to deal with them. But I understand it's not their fault. They're pushing there. But it's their fault if they got the ability to rise up and they don't want to, then that's on them. See, because now they have the energy to do it. So now it's up to them what they do with it. Okay, let's read this little thing he did today, right? See what I'm saying? Because he's saying, "Oh, God created everything good," and listen. Oh, bro, so I'm having an issue here. Let me see what's wrong.
That made into something. Love is that creative force out of which comes law and order, sustenance, maintenance, and the reproduction of all things. God is love. And how, one might ask, does Allah God express his love? He expresses his love, the minister said, in the quaint, essential beauty of his nature. By what he creates and what he does for what he creates, and through what he creates. Allah God, as a creator, starts painting on the canvas of space out of the beauty of his own nature. He gives us the sun, the moon, the stars, galaxies, mountains, flowers, our planet, and all kinds of different creatures. So when you look at the flowers, the insects, and the animal world, you see this huge array of creatures that manifest his infinite wisdom and power in his matchless beauty. The color only he can give in flowers. This is the beauty of his nature. Allah God not only creates a thing, but he nurtures what he creates, and he sustains and maintains what he creates. So he doesn't just put something out there. He provides everything it needs to grow to its eventual perfection. That is a mighty God. All praise is due to Allah. Think about a God who has created everything that you see and provides
creature, from the smallest all the way to the most magnificent, he has provided for that creature. This is a mighty God. So as men, we have produced children, and we've put that child out. What do we look like? Not providing for the children that we have produced that come from our loins. A man is not a man unless he handles his business, takes care of his business. And the first business is not the store, it's not your ventures. If you have been blessed and I have been blessed to become fathers, our foremost duty is to provide and protect our children, and to be providers, maintainers, and protectors of our women. Even if we fall out, there is no excuse for a man not to take care of his children, of it, and then calling us to rise to demonstrate love as he demonstrates it. Us to rise to demonstrate love as he demonstrates it. If you don't have love, you don't have life. You cannot separate self from the law of God, because the self
Okay. He created everything. That's what he said, right? Everything. Everything you see, everything he created. And he nourished and guides us to perfection. What about Satan? Does he love Satan? Right? He said he created Satan. But what happened to Satan then? He said he nourished it and gives everything it needs to guide it to perfection. So Satan's going to be made perfect. That's what he just said. Everything. He said he created everything, so he created Satan. How come Satan got wicked then? Does he love Satan? Does he? Why are you going to kill him if you love him so much? Why kill people? Why he hate the people that follow Satan? But wait a minute, how can he hate anybody? Oh, I love Jacob, but I hate Esau. Wait, my whole life, how can he hate Esau? Well, he's love. he's love. You know about love. He hate Esau. Oh, God's a liar. I only love sometime. Nigga, you get it? I only love sometime. Time? No. You say God's love, though. Yeah, sometime. You stupid? Everything is love. Everything created is love. Everything is love. You believe that, fool? You dumb nigga, I just told you. I love Jacob and hate Esau. What? Yeah, Ishmael just told me. Well, everybody know he's dumb, don't they? He's that fool. What's Farracon? Yeah, Farracon, man. I told Elijah to stay from that damn fool. Elijah insisted, so I gave it to him. Now, I gotta say it again. I love Jacob and I hate Esau. And if you keep effing around with me, I'll put your ass in hell forever and ever and ever. I'm gonna kick my enemies in the ass. I'm coming with wrath. So I spell out for you. That's how I love. These folks. I tell you about it, they will give me a stroke because it's hard to listen to shit. It's hard to listen to it. That's the worst part of my week. listen to shit for 2 hours, and then they go over 2 hours, man. That's too much. I gotta give me some Depends. It's hard enough to hold my you know, for 2 hours, and then go over 2 hours, man. Right? I spent the last few minutes in the bathroom. Listen to this shit. It's easy to see this. It's just shit. He can destroy his enemies. Where's the love in that? You're gonna put somebody in hell forever and ever and ever. He cursed him to be slaves forever. Where's the love in all that? You listen to these fools. Like I said, that makes sense to them. Second grade, third grade, it makes sense to that stuff they're saying. Because right away you see, wait a minute, there's something wrong with that. How can this be true and other stuff be true too? But remember, this is Farracon's philosophy. It's not scripture. This is philosophy. And where it is scripture, they got it wrong, obviously. Let's say it again. I love Jacob and hate Esau. And that's why Muhammad, they said, well, he's the God. Well, wait a minute. How did he create all creation? He's Allah. But yeah, he created all creation. He's making babies in the womb. Right? That's what he said. Allah is making all babies. But you say he's Allah. Yeah. This is brain cancer. This shit is absolutely brain cancer. It makes no goddamn sense at all. None of it. He's a lying person. He all creation. He created everything. He did. Then who is this Allah that you talking about doing all this other stuff? We say ain't no God, but Muhammad's the one. But who is this guy doing all this other stuff he's talking about? They create everything, the flowers, the colors, creates in the womb. And I can see right now those fools out there. They got man, he took my Farracon. He don't understand. Farracon just too wise for him. He don't understand. He just don't understand. He's too deep for us to understand. And if you speak against him, there must be something wrong with you. Yeah. If I get, I might not make it, brothers and sisters, because it's too painful for me to watch this shit every Sunday. I know I'm gonna have a stroke. It's too painful to watch this shit. It's too painful to watch this shit. It's like you forced to watch the dog shit for 2 hours every day. What you want to do that for? It's too painful to watch. This shit is brain cancer. It makes no goddamn sense. None of it. And they talk about like a firm resolution, like the Quran said, they give evil suggestion, firm resolution. This shit is totally bullshit. And of course, Allah, God, but that probably matches what my memory. No, it ain't. Well, in this case, it can't be. Is the creator of the self, and the self he gave you in his image is himself. In other words, we him. But who is Satan then? Is he him? You don't have love, you don't have life. In other words, if you hate Satan, you don't have no life. What is that? You gotta love everybody. See, what they're getting at is, if you read the whole thing, pay close attention, because all humanity, we gotta love the devils. You just said a minute ago, but I just showed you, Father Flay is our brother and family. That's the point they're trying to make, because they think Farracon's going to be out of here, and they're trying to figure out how to keep this damn thing going. They got devils in there, in FY uniforms, the MGT. They know you ain't got any damn money. They're trying to stop an NAACP organization right there, because Farracon got all the money in his name and his son's name. So when he goes, all this stuff just collapses, because they don't have no money for it. And Ishmael, he couldn't get a job working at Burger King, right? Look at the toilets. That's too complicated for him. Because Farracon just gave him just enough to keep going. And they know they're desperate, man. They're trying to figure out how to keep this thing going. So they open up to everybody. Anybody just come on in. Can't call us racist. And say, that's my brother there. That's not what. And then they're gonna bring Master Muhammad's name. And you read the lessons lately? You read the lessons lately? They're 100% wicked. To be destroyed. But no, he's our brother. They're desperate. Trying to figure out how to keep this damn thing going. Message or something. That's what's going on, brothers and sisters. Trying to figure out how to keep it going. That's what's going on here. Open up to anybody. Can't call us racist. Anybody's welcome. Because if he goes and he's not going to go right now. He's gonna be going soon. But he's not gonna go right now. They don't know that, but they looking. He goes on a deathbed, on death watch, and he goes. It's all over for them because they control the money, and his son will disappear with the rest of that money. You won't see him anymore. He's already a Chicago cop. Google it. Why is the Supreme Captain a Chicago cop? It's got me too. I said, man, that's bold. I said, that's not true. Somebody told me I looked at it. That's where it says. Maybe Google's a lie. Same thing they did when Elijah left. Ishmael mother and they got that money and they disappeared. They was hiding out in Mexico. Check, don't take my word for it. Why was he hiding out there? Whole thing was, only one stick around was Wallace to finish the job off. In this case, this whole thing collapsed. So they're trying to open it up. Well, we gotta love everybody. That's what he said, all humanity. So we gotta love. You gotta love. That's love. That's the point he's trying to make here. You gotta love the devil. So he can't come out and say we gotta love the devils. That might do. It's too strong. That might be too strong if I say come out like that. That's what he's getting at. But brothers, he just said it. Let me go play it back to you again. Let me play it back for you again. Play it back for you again. Hold on.
Do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagler as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
Is that clear enough for you, brothers and sisters? Now, those over there with the head of Farracon's ass, they want to hear that stuff. Because most of them was Wallace people anyway. See, that was Wallace's program. See, when Farracon called stuff coming back after he destroyed the nation, it was Wallace people that brought him back because they couldn't make any money with Wallace. And so those Wallace people, they would, because they're on the same wavelength as that. Right? And they get paid with Farracon. See? But that has no resemblance to anything Elijah Muhammad taught. Nevertheless, read the lessons. They ain't our brothers. They're 100% wicked. They cannot be reformed. They must be removed from the planet. That's Master Muhammad talking. Elijah said the same thing. That's no, see where they're going with that? So our brother, our family. So now, down to the second stage comes. See? Second stage comes, see? Oh, love, love, love. Get to the stage. They think they know that most people with them are stupid, so they accept that kind of stuff. What's going on here? See? Like a slow ball in the frog. You throw him in hot water, he's gonna jump right out. Put him in cold water and turn the heat up, he's gonna sit right there until he boil. Now watch this one. This one gets me, boy. All of them get me. I mean, this one, I know I'm going to definitely two pair depends on this one, boy. Give me a double. Give me a double. Give me a double. I ain't going to give me a two pair. Oh, boy, watch this one.
That God chose to be a divine leader, teacher, godly, great Messiah. We thank Allah for his coming. Thank him for raising the honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is not dead. You say, oh, minister, you had me all away. Now I want you to stay with me. We are forbidden to lie. Every word that we speak is backed by evidence, facts, and truth. We've been lied to all of our lives.
That's all they do is lie. That was a lie right there. We can prove it. He's not speaking Elijah Muhammad's teachers. Master Muhammad's teachers. There's not all the damn time. They're lying about Farracon. Oh, he's okay. He's doing fine. That's all they do is lie. And he's forbidden you to lie? You're lying right now. We can't mess with your heads. And they can't prove a goddamn thing. Because they do it, get that $5,000 and shut me up. You can't use $5,000, Ishmael? If you can prove it, all you got to say, you ain't got to go to change. Just show me one verse in the Bible or the Quran that verifies Farracon said who he says he is. Just one verse. We forbidden the lie. We can prove everything. They can't prove a goddamn thing of what they're saying. None of it. Boy, I tell you, this is the worst part of my week. It really, I don't look forward to it. Because I sit to watch this shit. It's brain cancer. I'd rather sit and watch a dog shit for 2 hours than watch this crap here. At least I know that dog doing something that's meaningful. Ain't meaningful to me. But this is total bullshit. I'll take a challenge. Show me, prove one thing that you just said. Prove it. I gave $5,000. You prove any of that crap you're saying. We brothers. This is this. Family, we got love. God's love. He was in love and can't. God's love, just like the Sunnis. God controls everything. Everything is the will of Allah. There's no exceptions. Okay, then, when Farracon got that cancer, that was Allah's will. So why would He will cancer on him? You can't take and get transplants and all that. Castrated, put the shit in a bag. Disembowelment. Why would you put that on somebody? No property messenger ever got pit like that. Ever. They may get sick or whatever. My problem, how many got sick? You know, get that, but not nothing permanent. Remember, Job was totally messed up. But God said you better not mess with anything permanent on them. Because that's a curse. Remember, Job suffered more than anybody. He suffered everything you could think of. But he was told you better not break his bones, you better not do anything that's going to cause permanent damage to him. That's permanent damage, Farracon. And the woman is your heaven, that you through with that. So that's a curse. And he's robbing the nation. He ain't built a goddamn thing. He built, show me what he built. I was there when the mess was here. I know he ain't built shit. He don't even print his own paper. That's what they print so-called final call. Synagogue of Satan prints it for him. Stick ass people. I for one be glad when they gone, because that's my worst part of the week. Watch this dumb shit every week. That's part of my job. I gotta watch this shit every Sunday. I don't look forward to Sunday. I don't look forward to it. Because, and I got to comment on it. It's like, you got to go out there and you got to pick up dog shit, put in a bag. I don't know. Get rid of the damn dog. I was going to say something. I said, I'll keep it short, so let me move on. Bitten a lie. Oh, man. We can prove it. Oh, boy. Let me speak. They keep telling me the Son of Man thing. That's another one. It's like the Christians, so-called Christians, right? They tell you, oh, they get pictures of Jesus. And you go in the scripture, can't you read? It says he will have dark skin and woolly hair. That don't look like that. But that's what it says right there. Get two description of them. And Farracon, and he's this master from Muhammad. They tell you what he look like, damn it. They give you a description. Just like, you go out there and you got to rob the bank. And told, hey, man, well, he was a Caucasian man with blonde hair. And they go grab a black man with no hair. I don't care. He's the one. But I told you he looked like he's a blind white man with blonde hair. And they put this guy in jail. I don't know how. They tell you what he look like. Here's right here. And by hell, the same horn made war with the saints. Saints is them. It says somebody's going to make war with them, right? And prevail against them. Whoa, who was that? That's right. Until the ancient days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and came time of saints to possess the kingdom. And saints probably know why, right? See? Okay. Remember this ancient days. The thrones are cast down means this will happen. This will happen within the next We will see. This is October, November. Within the next 90 days, this prophecy. Farracon's out of there. He's out before the end of the year. He's out of there. He'll be cast out and those with them. I said it. Okay, let's move on. See here? I'm missing one here. Okay, here's, we'll go back up. See, till the thrones are cast down, and the ancient of days is set. That's the Son of Man. And his garment is white as snow, his hair like pure wool. Pure wool. Does the Master from hair like that? Does Farracon hair like that? Huh? See what I'm saying? Well, no, that's Master from Muhammad. Well, that's Farracon. It tells you. Let's look at this one. That's what Daniel says it. Now, what the angel Revelation says it? And the hair of him is white as wool, as white as snow, right? And his feet like fine copper. It's not white. Copper is not white. Burn in the furnace, dark skin, with wool hair. That's not Master Muhammad. That's not Farracon either. That's what Son of Man would look like. I mean, so God's wrong on that one too? They say they were something that's not Son of Man. That's what Son of Man would look like. Plus, is he be gray-headed, so be elderly person, white hair. Come on, brothers and sisters. See, this is a joke over there, boy. Thrones are cast down. That's about to happen. That means all them clowns. Okay, let me speak to the ark, and then I think I'm going to close, brothers and sisters. See here? Now let's throw it together. Okay. Then the elect. See, this gets a little more complicated, so, you know, some of you probably, but I talk about analytical brain, and spatial brain. That's what I said. It says spatial is the creative. That's the elect. That's the creative side, spatial side. The Son of Man or Lamb, right? They're part of that. Right? That's the spatial side. We might have something else. I don't know if we get to it now. Something else I want to talk about. But then you got the analytical side is right under it. That's Master Muhammad. He's technical. How technical? See, and they like Iran. They like him. They're original with white skin on the maternal side. See, and you see how technical they are, but the creative side is us. See, then under that you got the ambidextrous. That's where you were before. It's like before we had gender, we had genderless, and then we had gender. So we made like this because we was like 50-50. 50 half spatial, 50 analytical. But then we said, okay, we separate, so now we 90% spatial. Wow, that's a big, gotta leave enough. So you still communicate with the other side. 90% analytical and 10% spatial. 90% spatial. 90, the spatial is 9%, the technical 9%, but the technical has 10% spatial, and the spatial has 10% analytical, so they can communicate with each other. But then we have the ambidextrous, where they also, and I'm going to try to explain this function in a general way, right? Okay, the technical can't do anything out create. They have to have an idea. That's why I say be and it is. You have to say be, and then the technical side bring it in. That's where the be and is come in. So the be is the spatial side. See? And so that's why it said the Lamb, he was able to solve a puzzle no one else could solve. No one, even the God couldn't solve. No one heavens, earth, or under earth. Because that's spatial. Because he's so powerful. Spatial so powerful. And the elect, they're as powerful too, because they could be deceived. See? Then you got the technical. He got that master, that will that nobody can figure out. It's super technical. And we see how technical the Iranians are, because they mount these missiles and stuff. That's the two side. That's and then you got the ambidextrous, because okay, look at it this way. Okay. You got remember the Europeans, they didn't come with anything ideas. So he comes and say, hey man, what if we could take and build a carriage that don't need horses? What kind of idea? Never thought of that before, right? And then look around and technical says, oh, well, we got the thing called steam engine. Maybe if we could put that with find a way to hook it up with a carriage, then we could have a what you might call automobile. See, because they will come to the technical aspects of it. So they will come to the blueprints, right? The specs and all that kind of stuff. Because they got the idea. They didn't think about it. They had an idea like you. Europeans came with no ideas at all when it was up in Europe, not one. Said, oh man. And then he said, okay, we got this, we got a machine over here. Engine over here. Yeah, we can modify that and make it small. Yeah. And we could probably hook that with a carriage, then we'd have a horseless carriage. See? So they come with spec, all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, then they do that. But then you got the others down here. See, what they do is they say, they see, oh, you tell them the idea you had, right? That's the ambidextrous. They take, because they can understand a little bit of social, spatial, a little bit of analytical. So they say, okay, how can I take this idea that he give and translate it so the technical people they were talking about. So they said, oh, he's talking about a horseless carriage. Oh, that's what he's talking about, horseless carriage. And so they come with, right? So that's, so now the spatial came with the idea, and now the technical know what they're talking about. So then they start making the specs, design, all that kind of stuff, right? But then they give it back to the ambidextrous people, and they say, okay, we need this will, we need metal, right? We need wheels and all that stuff, right? They come, and then they give them, and then now the ambidextrous people, they got to go and get the supplies, got to get the metal, get this, and they had to put it in form like this. The metal had to be making the screws. They do all that part. The technical just kept telling them, okay, how to put this thing together. They give them design. See, they got the idea, but now they come with the design, the specs, and everything else. And then they got to come with the material and put it together and put all the parts and all the stuff that they say they need. That's up to the ambidextrous. And then you got the people on the bottom, that's the laborers. Now they got all the stuff, now they got to put it together. They got the material, they got the specs, they got the materials, and they're the construction people. Now they have to know how to put it together. That's the way it works. See, I told you there's another side of this arc. That's the way it works. They're the laborers. That's why I said in the earth they was out of the kingdom. I mean, they was in the kingdom, but it was in the lower part of the kingdom. That's not. I'm not putting anybody down because we all equal, just different. You love the heart cell just as much as you love the lung cell, right? Just love the butt cell. Your butt hurts, the whole body hurts. That's the way it works. So I'll leave that to you on that one. See, so I explained that a little. The other day I said I was going to explain it in terms of intellect. I think I said something like that. Right? Okay, let's talk about this pause real quick, brothers and sisters.
According to AI, listen to this. They said the statement, there was a silence in heaven for about half an hour, comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible, specifically Revelation chapter 8, verse 1, and describes a moment of profound stillness. In heaven, statement, there was a silence in heaven for about half an hour, comes from the book of Revelation in the Bible, specifically Revelation chapter 8, verse 1, and describes a moment of profound stillness. In heaven, after the Lamb, Jesus, breaks the seventh and final seal of a scroll. This silence is widely interpreted as a solemn pause and a moment of awe, reverence, and anticipation for the powerful divine judgments and events about to unfold, acting as the calm before the storm of the trumpet judgments. So we are at that time, brothers and sisters. We know that our minister was promised by his teacher that he had one more thing to do. And once that one more thing was complete, he would be permitted to see his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, face to face. Now, you can call us crazy if you want to, but in just a few days, you will run across everything that we shared with you this morning. Previous generations had to wait years and decades, but this current generation only stay alive for a couple of days, and you will run across everything that was shared. Our only salvation is to fly into the bosom of Allah, connect yourself with Him and His messenger, or suffer the consequences. May Allah bless us with the light of understanding.
The only truth he said there, brothers and sisters, is in a few more days you will see, but not what he's talking about. See, first of all, he's still, it says, all before me, thieves and liars. Anybody's been paying attention to what I've been talking about, he's stealing that from me. Because he, all of a sudden they pop up with this. I've been saying it for years, especially, specifically in the last few months, because that's where we are right now. And I talk about this pause, silence, all of a sudden they pop up with it. Right? So yeah, it's going, things happen very, and it's going to happen against them. Happen against them. And he shouldn't be talking about the book of Revelations, because first of all, unless he broke the seals, he doesn't have no idea what he's talking about. It's clear. And unless he broke seals or knows someone who has broken seals. As far as I know, Farracon never have claimed to broke those seals. Elijah Muhammad never made that claim. Master Muhammad never made that claim. So that means they don't know what the hell that book said, because there's nobody would know zero until the Lamb broke those. So he's talking on his butt. But they do talk about the silence. And I explain that, and I put a couple of links down there. If you look at the bottom, a couple of links, and you go back and see I talked about the signs years ago. The most recent was about a year ago, I guess. In detail, not watch the weather stuff. I'm gonna go over it again, explain a little more detail today. I think I can say a few things I haven't said before. Okay. So let's go into it. Now what's happening here is, go open the first seal. I saw open up the Lamb, one out of 7 seals. Now remember, see, if you go and look King James Version, you're not going to get this. Because they put their interpretation of it. You get a transliteral that's translated directly from the manuscript. And what it's going to say is, I heard one of the 4, I heard something. Right? Who's riding that white horse? Now, I'm going to explain to you why I said Obama there, and I'm not going into that kind of detail right now. I do have a presentation to explain that. Anyway, it's talking about the white horse. So let me go down to action down here. Here's the white horse. And the reason I said the horse, because he's under the rider. That's why they call it a horse. But anyway, this one's white. Open the seal, heard out of the white horse. Right? Until something happens. Keep in mind, I heard something, white horse. Okay, keep that in mind. And then I heard, then the second horse, I heard something else. And that's the reddish white horse. Right? The third horse, I heard something. Right? Somebody's riding that black horse. And then greenish yellow horse is not pale. Pale, that was a boy, that's a messed up thing. I heard something, that's the fourth one. So here's something on the fourth one, right? So, well, look here. I'm gonna speak to this. I probably was, but anyway. It was given them, who's them? The 4 horses. See, the death and Hades was followed with him and was given them authority, right? Look, I green yellow and was setting upon it top of the name of death. So you got that careful. You got to read that, right? Anyway, because death. Oh, I'm gonna leave that alone right now, brothers, because I don't want to. Let me keep it simple. And I saw, look, horse greenish yellow, and setting upon it named him of death, and Hades was following him and was given him authority. Number 4 was his authority from the fourth of the earth. Now, see, these here European countries represent the earth. It has 4 parts. That's how you know that represents the earth, because it's one the fourth. That means it's 4 parts. So one of these, the first one has authority over. That's what it's talking about. It was given him authority upon the fourth of the earth to kill a long sword. That's the second horse, and famine and the death and the wild beasts of the earth. So that means there be the first one represents Africa. And that first horse represents, remember, the line that represents Africa. Let me go back real quick. Keep this short, bounces. Here's the whole key. This represents Africa. This represents Asia. This represents Oriental. This represents European countries. And this represents the earth part. That's why it's 4 parts. And down you're sitting right here, that's the rich nations divided up amongst the nations. Okay, if you got that, let's move on. So if you go here, that's how you get Obama, because it says it would be an African, follow him, give him authority upon the fourth of earth. That means there'd be an African person, right? That represents the first horse, that have authority of one American country, of one of the European countries. What African had control of of a European country? That was Obama. He's African. He's not one of us. That's what Israel says. Okay, upon the fourth of earth, right? Hold on. What happened here? Upon the earth to kill a long sword, second horse, right? It's talking about Sunnism. Kill a long sword and then famine. And then death. Oriental countries. Wild beasts of earth. See, this wild beasts of earth. That means that fourth, right? That fourth one is the one. So the fourth has got to be America, because that's the only country, only European country that was controlled by African. And it's going to be, right? Death, and by the wild beasts of earth, it's going to be attacked by the other European countries. That's how I came with that. I'll even move on, bro. I have a presentation that explains all that in more detail. And then we get to the fifth horse, fifth seal. You don't hear anything. It's silence. All the money heard something. You don't hear them. That's the silence they're talking about. It'd be a silence between the fifth and the sixth. The silence between the fifth and the sixth. Still. And sixth seals when all hell breaks loose. That's where we are right now. Because the fifth represents, right? Because the silence right now, the fifth represents what's going on in the Middle East between Iran and Syria. But I'm not going into that kind of detail. The problem is, that's the fifth one. It says Iran will be, they're talking about 2 of them. It said Iran will be attacked, and then after they were attacked, then Syria will be attacked. And it says, they say, when you going to do something, tell them they're talking about their 12th Imam, which is Master Muhammad. They may not know it. That's who it is. And he says, when are you going to take offense? He said, I ain't going to do anything until they take down Syria. Take down your fellow servant. Once they take them down, remember, Syria just went down. Then I'm going on the warpath. That's the silence. Okay? Because when you get the sixth seal, they hear something again. See? But we got to understand where to hear it. So here's the sixth seal. So here's the fifth. So sixth seal is about to. That's what he's talking about. See, he know it because he got that from me. Like I said, once they start this war back up, it's silent. Remember they got this pause. Once this that happens, once this pause, it's gonna start any day now. Everybody knows that. Then that's when sixth seal goes in. What's sixth seal all about? What's sixth seal? That's when all hell breaks loose. You get rose white and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to display all that, bro. And that's what they're going to. They kick. They go. That's the one heaven. They're going to kick them out of the Middle East. They're going to take because right now they're America, Britain, and falls Israel. Why is it America, Britain, and falls Israel? They're the ones over there. Right now they're in control of the Middle East. When they go to war with Syria, with Iran, Iran's going to defeat them and kick them out of the Middle East. With false Israel under siege, you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. That's what's about to happen. Once this silence is over. So here's the sixth seal. Open the sixth seal, right? And shaking occurred. That's the war. I didn't put that back right. That's the war. It's that war. The war resumes. Right? See? And the sun became black. Here. We show this here, right here. Come black. Here's the sun. Remember, the black horse represents the nation of Islam. It's dead right now. Some became black. Okay. Okay. I did it. Some became dead. Some became black. And sack of head moved. See what it's saying is, see here. I forgot to put this back right. But anyway. See, this here, actually, this don't occur in the sixth seal. This occurred before. This here, let me back up. I don't know if I can explain this clear enough without going a lot of detail, brothers and sisters. So I can show this somehow. I forget it. Yeah, I think I messed that up. I did. Let me just do it this way real quick. Yeah, that's my error. I can't blame anybody. I remember what I did. Hold on for a second, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'll just copy that one. It's a short way. Oh. I took a shortcut, but you see here, this way it would look, right? It would look, I don't have the right destination here, wings. That's where it would look, right? Okay. Forget about this over here. But this is where it looks when sixth seal goes. Because the way it sounds like, it said, as sun became black, as more hope become blood. It looks like this happens when this happens. No, this already has happened. I'm going to show you in a minute. This already has happened. Right? Okay. Anyway, so the reason I show you that because I'm going to show you another point. Oh, okay. The reason why it's like that because when this happens, when the war starts, and this is when Suleiman takes over the NOI, which is going to happen any day now. This war starts back up. They're going to get rid of Farracon. And like E.B. Mark says, they coming to Suleiman. They ain't going to them. And said they saw him, they came running to him because now they realize the truth, right? See, but they didn't want to seek it. You know, what was blocking the light. Said those set in darkness. That's why I said darkness, black. See the great light. That's what he's talking about right here. Anyway, the reason why it's like that because see when this happens, see, it's telling you because Arabia, the moon here represents Arabia. And right here, this is going to be. They took this. This is going to. What it's saying is that false Israel and Arabia is going to be turned. It's going to be turned to a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. This war has been a bloodbath. False Israel is going to be totally devastated. It says destruction, desolation. It says there's desolation. That means desolation. That's terrible. It says the power of the heavens power of the holy ones be broken. It's going to be a bloodbath like you've never seen before. That's what it's talking about. See? That's why it says as, it didn't say when, it says as sackcloth hair and moon was so Cain's blood. See, the sun became black as, not when, as. Be careful these words, as. See, because it's already there. See, but now it turns to blood. It's going to be a bloodbath. That's how bad that war is going to be, how terrific it's going to be. Once it starts, it's going to start any day now. I don't know if you got that or not, brothers and sisters. And then that's when it says, and then stars of heaven fell on the earth, right? And the fig tree is throwing up as, again, right? As a throwing up ripe, unripe. So remember, false Israel represents a fig tree. And it's figs. Back here, look back here, previous. See, this is a trick, this is figs. And so what happens is that's when they attack us. That's when they attack us. Attack, you know why? And this represents the Christian blacks, the Demise. They attack all blacks. But remember, these are blacks too. These are African blacks on immigration or whatever. They ain't us. Right? And so they're gonna attack all blacks, so these are gonna retaliate under because they're gonna take and organize under because Obama's gonna be attacked too, he's black. Attack all blacks, because they know they're in trouble. They're gonna organize around him, right? And they're gonna attack. And they're gonna attack all black they're gonna attack all Americans. They don't care you're black or white. And that's what it's talking about, right? This is talking about right here. And stars of heaven fell into earth. Remember, these represent the earth. It's this, boom. It's going to be hell. See? Fell into earth. There's going to be a war like you can imagine. That's what it's talking about. That's what you're going to witness for the end of the year. Suddenly, shock of the hour. Now, watch this. And I saw 4 angels having stood upon the 4 corners of earth, having hold of fast the 4 winds. I was going to take time to explain this. I'm going to give you a short version. In order that may not blow wind upon the earth, said, who's these 4 angels? Who's these 4 angels stand upon the 4 corners of the earth? So you understand what that is. But the bottom line is to hold fast the 4 winds, where they may not blow in the wind on earth, upon the sea, upon every tree. Well, to cut the chase here, bro, so I'm just show you. And they was told, and another angel stepped up from the rise of the sun, having seal of God living, and he cried out with a voice great to the 4 angels to whom was given them to treat unrighteous earth and sea, saying, not you to treat them unrighteously, nor the earth and sea, nor any tree, until we might seal the slaves of God upon the 4. See, so they was told us, don't do anything, right? See, until this happens. See, if this happens. So that's how I don't know if you're going to see this or not. Remember, this part of the 6th seal now. Never see, I haven't went yet. And I heard, see, so here's part of 6th seal. So here's some of the 6th seal too. So that silence is before the 6th seal. It's about to be broken. But it says this here, it talks about sealing. And if you read this carefully, because King James Version, it says all wrong. It says, and these are seals, says, and I heard the number having been sealed, 144,000 having been sealed out of every tribe, whatever. And out of the tribe of Judah, 12,000 sealed. But it doesn't say anything was sealed out of Reuben. Reuben doesn't say anything was sealed out of Gad. See, it's only say this one's sealed. But you assume they're all sealed. Don't say that. Hold on, previous. But you go down here, and the last one down here, Benjamin, that was sealed. So the only one was sealed with the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom was sealed. That's the only two were sealed. So what's that mean? Let's go back and look. That's how you know. That's know it was like this. Previous. Because who gets sealed there? When I showed you about the ark, that's why I showed the ark earlier. Right? Okay, I don't have it here. I messed that up too. Oh boy. Maybe I have it. There it is. See? The one at the bottom was sealed, and the one at the top was sealed because the lamb represents a seal. That means it had to be in this at the point of the sixth seal, it had to be like this. See? That means this had to be there already. The sixth seal didn't happen. The sixth seal had to be already before the sixth seal. These in this category here, seal here and here. So that means they tell you that. So when they say, in sixth seal, when they say, stack up head and everything, behold, came like blood, they're talking about another situation where it's a bloodbath in the Middle East, because you understand the moon represents the Arabs. They're gonna defeat them. They're gonna overlay them in a minute. Maybe I can show that. There it is right there, see? You don't see it here. It'd be a bloodbath when they get to war. This is at the point. They're actually at war with America, Britain, one heaven. They're actually at war. And it'd be a bloodbath here and bloodbath here. And that Middle East is going to turn into a bloodbath. It's going to be a terrible war. It's going to be a bloodbath. That's why it says people here is going to be hearts filled for fear. Those things come upon the earth because they know it's coming here. It'll be a bloodbath here. So I never explained that before. I'm explaining it now. It'll be a bloodbath here. You can imagine a time of unprecedented trouble. It'll be a bloodbath here. They're going to see it's going to be a bloodbath there. You can imagine. You think what's going on in Gaza is going on now? What falls Israel is right now obituary, because I said what's happening to Gaza, it's going to happen in spades. It's going to reverse on them. It's going to be a bloodbath over there. And false Israel, go back, because they're not going to take any pity on them. Because what they've been doing to Gazans, they're going to retaliate, and it's going to be a total bloodbath. And all rape is going to be a bloodbath. Because the dragon's going to help fight, try to help America, God, Magog, and false Israel. Bloodbath, brothers and sisters. A few more days this year. More days. See, that's why you got to pay attention to figure these things out, brothers and sisters. It took me a while to figure that one out. And that's they attack us. Bloodbath here too. They represent blood too. And here's the I just told you about. I'm gonna close here, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna close here. Here, the spirit. Now, this is. Let me show you what Farracon is saying and what the Messiah is saying. He claims the Messiah. Does he sound like the Messiah? See if he sounds like the Messiah to you.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Farracon sound, but he says he's the Messiah. Let's see how the Messiah sounds. Remember, see all this love for America. Remember, we got love. All this love he got for America, right? You want to save America? Love. That's what let's say. Let's say 100% wicked. It cannot be reformed. But he's representing Master Muhammad, right? That's what Master Muhammad said. Read the lesson. 100% wicked cannot be reformed. We got to take them off the planet. Now Farracon says, I love America. Want to stay here. Want to make white folks good. I don't want America destroyed. I want to give America. Elijah Muhammad said, you fools to stay here and live our imprisonment. We got Elijah Muhammad saying that, but no. I guess he knows better than Elijah Muhammad. But what did Master Muhammad say the lesson say? Master Muhammad says it is impossible to reform devils. That's what the lesson say. They are 100% evil. That's what the lesson say. He's the God, right? I guess Farracon is the best knower. And he can't wait to destroy them. Take them off the planet. So that see, is this what God's will, like they've been telling the last 3 weeks? That's what God's will is. Ain't the one that make babies in the womb. I don't know who that is. Move on.
49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
That sounds like a Farracon. That's the Messiah talking. Somebody schizo or something. Now we're gonna see. Now we're gonna see what Farracon. Remember, this is how he feels about the white people, massa. You know, they can't devil someone. How he feels about them? How he feels about America? Let's see how he feels about you. The ones that made him rich, putting food on his plate, putting steaks on his plate, made him a millionaire, multimillionaire. See how you feel about you, male and female. This is how you feel about you.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother Minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother Minister. Both sides. That's real. Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We own buildings. We own farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Oh, that's how they feel about you. But we want to say America. I love America. I don't want to go nowhere. That's how they feel about you. America raped us, beat us, tortured us, terrorized for hundreds of years. But oh, we got love for them. We don't have no love for your dumb ass, your raggedy ass. Holy worms eat. Pray Allah. Eat your ass. But they neglect to say that the reason why you're not alive, because him and Wallace killed you. They destroyed it, ripped the nation off, took all the assets and everything else, put Packer, and left us with nothing. He neglected the part. Well, who's alive? Who killed us? Worms, eat your ass. Okay, close out, brothers and sisters. See, all he got is shit in Scientology for you. He just put perfume, fragrance of Elijah on top of it to draw you in. See, covered up with the scent of Elijah. Put Elijah's name on it, on this shit. He don't represent Elijah in any way, shape, form, or fashion. None of them do. They use his name, draw you in. He's shitting on Elijah's message. Let me say one last thing. You know, he said this thing about he says he had this thing in Mexico about this vision. Elijah told him to tell the world that Reagan's planning for invasion of the Middle East, something like that, war against the Middle East, right? 85. I got it. You know, I put my presentation yesterday or the day before, but I put it again, not today. I forgot. 85. He said he got that vision. He got that. He says, remember talking about this one last thing bullshit? 85, right? He's told to go and tell the world that, right? But he don't do anything. 85. In 87, he says, some magazine, New York magazine, whatever, published that Reagan was going to do the stuff. He said, they made it public to the world, right? 87. 85, he got the information, told to go tell the world. He don't say anything. 87, they make it public. The newspaper make it public. Then, the 89, he goes to give a news conference, says, all this going to happen. Are you fucking mind? I was rolling. How the hell did he put this? Why did he wait 4 years to tell him something Elijah told him to tell right then? Why did he wait 4 years from 85 to 89 to say something that Elijah told him to go tell people right in 89, in 87? I mean, 85. And then he don't tell it after it's made public, so he ain't telling anybody anything because he said the newspaper made it public in 87. This is what they saying. See, their mind's so messed up over there. They're so stupid. I mean, can you imagine that? How in the hell that mean that he came and revealed something to the world? We just said it was already revealed in 87, but he was told in 85. He didn't say nothing until 89. I tell you, they won't give me a stroke. Because it's all, woohoo. Elijah Muhammad's around now. If FYI was around right now, they would be in trouble. Ooh, they would be in trouble. Close out, bro. Sorry, son.